Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kwadash. We know cap nations of kings and priests. I wanted to share with y'all a article that I read a couple of weeks ago, and I think it is extremely important for us to understand that the system that is in place today in our captivity is meant for our destruction in a nutshell. And it's important for us to apply the scriptures and apply the law, statutes, and commandments that teach us about marriage, sexuality, conceiving children, how to be fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, wives, husbands. This is a true detriment in the Israelite community. And unfortunately, not only do we pay for it, but also our generations. With that being said, it is important to understand that there are things in this world that are meant for evil and are put there as a stumbling block to our destruction, and our enemies are very adamant to paint the picture that, these are good things and, good things for us. And we and it's our choice, and in reality, we don't have a choice in this matter. There's no free will. It's always the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And we desire to do his will. Like the what? With that being said, let me share my screen right quick. And I'll just go ahead and read this article and kind of get to it. Now, this is an article that you are more than welcome to grab yourself. This is on USA Today. This was published July 23rd, 2020. And obviously we, in our experience of last year, there was the removal of, the Arthur Lee's statues, the Confederate flags. So another point of discussion was the statue of Margaret Sanger. If you don't know who Margaret Sanger is, and let me just kind of give you a synopsis of her evil ass. Let's see here. Salakia. Let's go. Let's go here. All right. So this is Margaret Sanger, an Edomite lady. She basically, Salakia, my screen just. Okay, so she basically is the advocator of Planned Parenthood, one that we see in all of our communities, mainly in the Negro, Hispanic communities and low income. So she was born in 1879. Sanger came of age during the heyday of the Comstock Act, a federal statute that criminalized contraceptives. Margaret Sanger believed that the only way to change the law is to break it. Starting in the 1910s, Sanger actively challenged the federal state Comstock laws to bring birth control information and contraceptives devices to women. Her favorite ambition was to find a perfect contraceptive to relieve women from a horrible stain of repeated unwanted pregnancies, right? Tragedy leads to commitment. Sanger committed to birth control sprung from the personal tragedy. This is such bullshit. This is not her agenda. It wasn't for personal tragedy. She had an agenda which is called the Negro Project. So let me go ahead and grab that. Y'all got the idea of who this devil is, right? Now watch this. Let me go and share my screen again. I'm gonna try not to use any slurs that's gonna get me banned. We've been having an issue with that. So, anyways, this article written in July 23rd of July, 2020, right? So I'll quickly go over it. It says all across America, video activists attacking statues play a loop, while some political leaders voice their support for removing all reminders of the people whose personal histories put them in a negative light. In asking for U.S. Capitol to be cleansed of Confederate statues, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said they must go because their efforts were to achieve such a plainly racist end. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said on NBC's Today show that removing the statues is a healthy expression of priorities and values. So here's the point. For those identifying historical figures as racist roots should be removed from public view because of their evil histories, Planned Parenthood's founder, Margaret Sanger, must join the list. In promoting birth control, she advanced a controversial Negro project. Now watch this. Wrote in her autobiography about speaking to the Ku Klux Klan group and advocated for a eugenics approach to breeding, the gradual suppression and elimination and eventual extinction of the defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. These are her words, right? So basically, she created a project called the Negro Project. And this project was to basically breed out and eliminate any breeds. Now it says for the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks. Now this included Hispanics and Native Indians as well, right? But it was called the Negro Project, specifically targeting our people. Now watch this. We'll continue, right? Sanger's Planned Parenthood mission. In 1939, letter to DC C.J. Gamble, Sanger urged him to get over his reluctance to hire a full-time Negro physician, as the colored Negroes can get closer to their own members and more or less lay their cards on the table, which means their ignorance, suppressions, and doubt. So they're using Negroes, they're using our own people against us. To do what? To convince us to take and use their services. Y'all see where this is headed? Right? Looks very similar to what's going on today. You got leaders in Israel saying, take the jab. I want to go to the beach. I want things to get back to normal. while you got the true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai praying for the downfall of this kingdom and the new one to come. Right? Let's continue. Like the abortion lobby today, Sanger urged Gamble to enlist the help of, check this out, spiritual leaders. Right? Which are who? Your Christian pastors. Right? And you got the help today in the same ones. Right? So they enlisted spiritual leaders to justify their deadly work. Writing. Now watch this. These are her words. Right? It says, we do not want the word to go out, that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. See that? And this is who we put our trust in. This is who are gonna either forcefully supply their agenda on the nation of Israel. Right? They've been doing it for centuries. What makes you think they won't do it today? But that's what this Planned Parenthood is about. And it's made for the extinction of our race. However, that can never happen. Right? We are too much of a fruitful people to do that. Right? However, the evilness of Babylon allows them to, provide that type of service to Yasharallah. Unfortunately, leading to the destruction of many of our brothers and sisters before they even came into this world. Murder is murder. A heartbeat, it is there. Now watch this. This is Exodus, right? It's Exodus, the first chapter, right? This is the early days of Babylon, or Salakia, Exodus, early days of Egypt. Exodus 1:1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, and this goes down to the all the tribes on there. Verse 5. And all the souls came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls of Joseph was in Egypt already, and Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. Don't you think that they understand that we are currently exceedingly mighty? Right? Shalom Makia. Yahabashim Yahweh Barakatam. So look, verse 8. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, and let us multiply. And it came to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land. Therefore they set them taskmasters to afflict them and burdens, and they built Pharaoh treasures and cities, Pinom and Ramses. But more, so here's the case. But the more that they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. So even though they tried to eliminate us, they could not. We grew more abundant, right? The Egyptians made the children of Israel serve rigor, and they made their lives bitter and hard with bondage. In mortar, in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, and all their service. wherein they made them to serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake unto the Hebrew midwives. So here's the an example of a plot against our children, right? So the Hebrew midwives, of which the names of one Sapphira, and the name of the other was Pua. Verse 16, and he said, when ye go do the office of midwives to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Why? Because the life comes through the son or the man. So if it is a son, he will carry on. Right? And they understood that for them to conquer us, for them to get one over on us, to control, right, our population, right? I mean, we are a people who is fruitful, right? And these are one of the ways that they would basically try and kill us, right? And it's the same thing with Margaret Sanger. Her Negro project was a project of extinction, right? To exterminate our people, right? And with that extermination, then allow their agenda. Because the only way that they're able to rule this earth is to exterminate us, but they can't do that, right? Then ye shall kill him, but if it be a daughter, then ye shall live, right? Now watch this. Let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 35. This is Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for light, and the light by day, and the ordinance of the moon, and the stars by night, which divideth the sea when the waves roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. 36. If those ordinances depart from me, saith the Lord, then the seed, right? Where does the seed come from? From a man, right? Shall also cease from being a nation before me, right? So if that seed is preserved, if that seed continues, it will. If the earth is here, if the moon is here, if the stars are here, Israel is here. So no matter the devices that they put in place, right, they can never take away the seed of Yasharallah. Right? That's how important. Why? Because we're meant to serve the Most High God the way he wants us to. We are his ministers unto the Gentiles. So the Gentiles have salvation through us, right? And when I mean salvation, I mean they don't need to be saved. We need to be saved, right? There is no way that a Gentile can serve the Most High without Israel. And they damn no way that a Gentile can say he's an Israelite spiritually. Because according to the Most High God, you're an Israelite by seed. Even though we're also an Israelite by faith. Seed and faith. Right? Now watch this. Let's go to the book of Maccabees, man. Watch this. So we're going to Maccabees, the first chapter, or so like the first book of the first Maccabees. We'll start at verse 15. Oh, we'll start at verse 14, right? We'll start at 13, right? Just to give you this is first Maccabees 1 and 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So these are Israelites doing what the heathens did, right? Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief, right? And the Most High, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to the actual solidification of being fruitful, it is a gift from the Most High God, but we look at our society today, and our women, they give, they're basically giving out abortions like they give out candy, and we're living in a time where it's extreme. It's an extreme time, and we see that today where, this is what's taught to our children. So we have to learn how to come back and teach our children the right way, explain to them what they're seeing, because that's important too. You have to explain to them what they are seeing. They're going to experience it. You might as well teach them while you're in the truth versus when you're not in the truth, so that's important, so Margaret Sanger, she made sure that she gave a place for those activities to take place, and in her own words, she was building a program to basically make our seed extinct, right? And by doing so, now she gave an out and a right. Like when you're a certain age and you have, sexual intercourse, you think, well, I'll just have an abortion if I get pregnant. But abortions, I mean, their sisters having abortions, they don't just have them, in the first trimester. They're having them, the baby's already formed, man. I mean, it's pretty much disgusting, man, and ultimately, this is the type of behavior that Babylon, they encourage. They encourage this. They encourage the homosexuality. They put it in your face, right? And ultimately, it's, it goes against everything that we are supposed to be taught according to Yahweh and the laws of God. That's why if you do have children and they're old enough for, if you're still raising them, it is important for you to sit down and you need to talk about these things, man, and understand that even in our customs, we had Israelites who went out, and did the customs of the heathen. It is a heathenistic custom for you to kill your child, man, and these are things that were put in place by this wicked kingdom so that, our people could fall, right? Yeah, that's right. It's murder, plain and simple, Now we understand that, there's situations, that cause, unwantedness. But here's the thing too, why, if something was done prior to that, to protect our women, protect our children, could have been avoided, That's another question you could ask, a variable. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people say, well, what if this happened? What if this happened? Well, we could also say, what if this would have not happened so that we cannot, for that situation not to happen. Now, granted, I was a young father myself. I'm a grandfather right now. I love being a grandfather, but if I had the choice, I would do it the right way. And, through the eyes and the spirit of the Most High God, the right way. As a matter of fact, let's get that right quick. Let's go to Tobit. Tobit's a great example. If y'all haven't read the book of Tobit, I do encourage y'all to read that book. It is a beautiful book that does discuss the marriage of, a Israelite man and Israelite woman that were basically betrothed for one another. It's a beautiful love story, but at the same time, it shows them how they served the Most High, and what they did to not only unite the marriage, but also consummate it the right way. I know there's a big debate about is sex marriage, and is you consummate it before, after, what is. I'm not getting into that right now. However, we do have great examples in the scriptures, and Tobit is one of them, right? So watch this. This is so now this takes place, at the scene where they're basically going to be married and then eventually consummate. And I'll go ahead and read that as well. So Raguel said, take him from henceforth according to the manner, for thou art her cousin, and she is thine, and the merciful God give you good success in all things. Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias. Right. So we see a ceremony right here of a father giving his daughter to, to the protector, to the husband, which is Tobias, right? And then he says, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses. So what does the law of Moses teach you? That teaches you what? It teaches you that, if you go into her, that's your wife. You commit to her, you give the father shekels, or you do work for him. You basically earn her the same way Jacob did. He earned his wives, right? So, and this is one, this is the father saying, give her unto the law, after the law of Moses. And watch this, and lead her away to thy father. And he blessed them and called Anna his wife and took paper, right? So they did take a form of documentation to document the marriage, right? And did write an instrument of covenants of agreement and sealed it, notarized it, right? And they began to eat. So they had what? A festival, what? This is basically a wedding, right? And after Raguel called his wife Edna and said unto her sister, prepare another chamber and bring her in hither. Meaning what? Meaning a chamber, a room, so they can consummate the marriage, right? Which when she had done as he bidded her, she brought her thither, and she wept and received the tears of her daughter, and said unto her, be of good comfort, my daughter. The Lord of heaven and earth give thee joy for thy sorrow. Be ye of good comfort, right? So here's the point. This is Tobit chapter 8 and verse 1. And when they have supped, they brought Tobias in unto her, and he wept and remembered the words of Raphael, and took the ashes and the perfumes and the heart of the liver and the fish were upon it, and made smoke. So he basically built an altar, and which the smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the outmost parts of Egypt, which meant unto the hills or unto the mountains. And the angel bound him, right? And after they were both shut in together, Tobias rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise and let us pray that Yahweh would have pity on us. And began Tobias to say, Blessed art thou, O God of our fathers. Blessed is thy holy and glorious name forever. Let the heavens bless thee and all thy creatures. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve as his wife for an helper and stay of them that came mankind. Thou hast said, It is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him and abide like unto himself, which he's reading. Probably he's referring to Genesis, the first chapter, right? And now, O Lord, take not this, my sister, for lust, but uprightly, right? And that's one thing that we have to understand, that, we don't take for lust. We take sisters uprightly, right? Through the Spirit, spiritually, it put it to you like this. It is more, it is better to take one spiritually and not through lust, man, and that's the whole point, because we're not, there's brothers get caught up in the lust factor. You can admire a woman's beauty, but if it gets, a deceivable lust, and it becomes more of a lust factor, well, then you're going off. And that's basically what Amashiach said when he was talking about looking at a woman with lustful eyes. Look at this brother. This brother's literally in the chamber with his soon-to-be wife. They actually already committed through contract, right? Or through a document. Father already gave her to him. This brother was not looking at it as lust, right? He was looking at it as uprightly, right? Wherefore mercifully ordain that we may become aged together, right? And he said with him, Amen. And this goes to show you why it is so important to actually have a marriage built on the foundation of the Most High God and the law, statutes, and commandments. And that foundation will guide you and guide each other and guide y'all. And eventually y'all fruit, which is who? Y'all children, right? And, some of us are luckier than others, to have that. Some of us are not. However, for those that do have it, hold on to it, because, there's some people who would envy you. So it's a blessing to have. Sometimes, some of us are called not to have those things, and it's okay. That's okay as well, because either or, it's of the Lord, So whether you do or you don't, it's a blessing either way, So anyways, Salakia, Aria, I didn't even see you there. Salakia, hold on, let me send you the link. Yeah, when I go into the screen, I can't even see the comments. Baba Kasha. Okay, hold on a second. All right, King, I just put the link in there. All right, so let's continue. So and that's that, the one thing too, we have to understand that, we have to change our way of thinking, so renewing our mind and according to the law and according to the examples that the Bible gives us, the scriptures give us, through the Spirit, not what the world gives us. The world gives us Planned Parenthood. That's what it gives us. Shalom, King.
Shalom. Yeah, Bashem Shabrakata.
Yeah, you late, Ak. So, so like it now. That's my fault. I had to postpone it, and I started up again. So,
No, no worries.
But I was just kind of talking on the subject of, you know, just kind of Kadar's on. Shalom, King.
Shalom, shalom, a lot.
So, marriage and that consummation of the marriage, the sexual intercourse, it has to be brought in with a different type of spirit. We can't just think, okay, this is going to happen, and if I can get an abortion, I have it there. Why? Because those are traps, man. As a matter of fact, let's go to Psalms, right? Psalms, the 82nd chapter, right? Psalms 82. We read this all the time, but now that we know that Margaret Sanger had what? A Salakia, a Negro project, right? To eliminate us.
God.
Right? Hold on a second. Hey, go ahead, Aria.
You wanted me to bring out Psalms 82?
Yeah, Khan. Give me they build a tumult. I think it's 86, right?
Not 83.
Salaka 83. Bring that out, Baba Kasha.
1 second. Psalms 80. You want me to start from the top? I'll start from 2.
Yeah, start from 2.
Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So look, let's bring that up. Let's bring that up in the concordance, right? Watch this. Let's bring it up and let's look up that word tumult, right? Lo, that enemies bring a tumult. Watch this. All right, H. Y'all can still see my screen? No, you can't. All right, hold on a second. So this is H, strong coordinates, H1993, right? Hama. A murmur, a growl, a mourn, a rage, a sound, right? Tumult, to be clamorous, be disquieted, be loud, be in uproar, right?
God.
So go ahead, continue reading.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So that crafty counsel is what? Is the Negro Project, right? Is Planned Parenthood, is putting us in a position to always fail, right? Always continue to fail. Put 3,000 blocks in front of you. Meanwhile, what was that? Aria, what was that? Remember that video that had the brother that had to go through all these obstacles? It was like a track meet or a race, right? And it had the brother was in front of like a snake pit, and then when he passed the snake pit, he had to pass the alligator logs, and then he had to pass this like spiked gate,
No,
and
cap. I think I missed that one.
nah, it's crazy because it's so symbolic in our walk, because then you had Edomite right next to him who had his road was absolutely clear. Yeah, nothing. right? And it's crazy because Shalom Ma'aka Allah, Yahweh Shem Shabakata.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, King.
So you basically had all this, we have all these systematic, placeholders, for our trail, our track. And when it came to theirs, they're good, So you destroy destroy generations with the system that you put in place, and ultimately trying to destroy the children of Israel, right?
Con.
But like we read in Jeremiah, as long as the sun is here, as long as the moon, as long as the stars are here, the ordinances of Israel shall remain, right? The seed. And where's that word seed? That comes from the son or the man, right? So,
like, even if you deal with that word seed in the in Hebrew zeta, right? But in the Greek, it's sperma. That's where the people get the English word sperm from. That's
right.
the perfect translation of seed. But while you got that blue letter up, can we go to the next verse? Verse 3.
Con. Let me get out of here. Yeah, Con. Oh, I got it up here. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
No. Can you pull up in the blue letter? I want to pull something out real quick.
So, go ahead.
So in verse 3, when it says they have taken crafty counsel, click on that word for crafty. I want to bring something out real quick.
Con.
Because we got to understand where that word was used at in the beginning of the Bible. And it's only used a handful of times in the scriptures. What it says, 5 times in the scriptures?
Let's see. Shit. Yeah, Con. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times.
But go to the which let me see. Which Hebrew word is this? What's the number?
Hebrew number H6191.
It should also be the same word. It's a similar word when you dig into it for the word for the serpent in Genesis 3:1. I gotta pull up my notes and I'm not on my computer right now.
Wait, let me see if I have it. 3:1.
Right. There's similar words between the crafty counsel and the serpent.
Let's see what Samuel says. So this is Samuel 23 and 22. So 1 Samuel 23 and 22. I go pray you prepare yet and know and see his place where his haunt is, and who has seen him there. For it is told me that he dwelleth very subtly.
Right, but that word for I'll read Genesis 3:1 since you said the word subtle, right? Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. So it's the same concept of subtle. I just wish I had my notes so I could show you the how to tie those two words together. But it gets both translated as subtle, and the only other person that was called subtle was the serpent at the beginning of Genesis. So that's the same word for crafty. It's the same sentiment.
Con. He is exceedingly crafty. Look at that. Become crude, right? Proverbs 15 and 5. A foolish despises his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, but reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. So basically the opposite of crafty, right?
God. But and then it's also funny that who's mentioned in verse
So
6.
I mean, and this is the type of. You want to go verse 6? All right, hold on a second.
No, we could read it out.
So, like, what was it again?
I'm just showing in verse 83 the concept of that crafty counsel or that subtle counsel is the same concept when you go to Genesis 3:1 when it's talking about the serpent. So it's just a comparative tool to show that these people are compared to the serpent that we're about to read in verse 6.
Con. You want me to go to Genesis?
We could just keep reading when you're ready.
All right, Con. So we got 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, right?
Con. My verse 4.
Verse 4. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation." So like, how do you cut someone off from being a nation?
You destroy their men.
Nation comes from nationality.
All right.
You know. Now, in the book of Genesis, in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it says that a nation will come against us, right, for not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. We have to serve that nation in everything, which includes your education, religion, everything. We're going to serve that other nation.
Khan, I got the precept ready for that.
You got 48? 28, 48?
Boy, Maccabees?
No. Oh, you got a precept for it.
Yeah, I got a precept just for that.
Oh, go ahead. Bring it up.
Bring it up. First Maccabees chapter 1. Just a little understanding where we're at in the Bible. This is the Grecian captivity in First Maccabees. When you read Maccabees 1:1, it talks about Alexander the Great, the king of Grecia, right? So it's talking about the Grecians. But in touching on subject of them trying to make us forget our loss, First Maccabees 1:42, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites conceded to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and the festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. But the kicker is at verse 49. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And it's talking about the same Grecians.
Right. Hey, nothing new under the sun. The same people that were in charge then are in charge today. The same ideology, the same spirit is all behind all that. Right. Here's the point. That last verse that was there, right? That was about our children. What makes you think that that system is not in place today? It is totally in place. Now you see it injecting in cartoons. You see it in the school system. You see it in the things that they watch, things that they play. And then eventually, what are you going to have? You're going to have a generation that the devil programmed, basically, to basically destroy themselves. And that's what you see in place today. So when you got brothers like ourselves that go into the highways and byways and say, well, no, God said this, but the world says this, we're look like the enemy. But like it says in Amos, they're gonna, they're gonna hate the one that rebukes at the gate, and we understand that. But somebody's got to do it, because no one else is doing it. Not your pastors. Your pastors encourage this. Encourage it.
Yeah.
You know. Go ahead, Doc.
If I could put a little input on that, I'm at work though, but when the Maccabees talking about the strange laws and we should follow the land, our brothers say we need to follow the laws of the land. Well, at the same time, in the Maccabees, with the strange laws, you got strange laws now. You got people can marry trees and different types of animals, and you know what I'm saying? People protecting homosexuality, knowing that's the, you know what I'm saying, abomination of the Lord. You got the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, being provoked and stuff like that, and then the agents get provoked and beat up a little bit. They get a bill passed immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. So that's even today. Like you say, nothing new under the sun. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Khan. I mean, we understand that there's a system out there that is made to basically kill our people, man. You know. So be diligent, Yasharala, because at the end of the day, it's going to get worse. All this that you see today is nothing compared to Jacob's trouble. Because in the face of adversity, when you physically, going through it, Jacob's trouble was on the corner. Now, I'm gonna say this, and since we're live, and I'm gonna say it. A brother called me yesterday. I'm gonna just say he's in the industry, so he's a brother, right? John Deere is going on strike this week. What does that mean? That's eventually going to mean a lot of famine, right? They're going on strike, and it's shortages already as it is, so it's going to get even worse. So if y'all ain't growing today, grow today. If y'all ain't stocking up today, stock up today, because it is going to get worse. We have a lot of brothers who drive trucks, who tell us. As a matter of fact, one of our elders drives a truck, and he tells all the time, he's like, it's just going, you think, last year not having toilet paper was bad. Imagine not having food and water.
Right.
So it is extremely important for y'all to start building y'all bug out bags, and it's about to go down, man.
Because if we're in the end times, you have to understand what the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse mean, and understand that they have to come before the second coming of Yahushua. So if we know the coming of Yahushua is right around the corner, then that means those horsemen are right there too. And one of them brings that famine with them, and that's coming up soon. So get ready where you can for that.
Let me get that scripture.
Revelations?
No, foreseeth the way. Proverbs 22 and verse 3.
That's okay. 22 and 3.
Khan.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself.
You see that? A prudent man foreseeth the evil. Right? I mean, we're not here to scare anyone, but at the end of the day, we know what's going to happen according to the scriptures. So a prudent man, he does what? Foreseeth the evil that's coming. It's going to get worse, right? And he does what? What does he do? Keep reading.
But and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished.
Right. So we just got to be prudent, right? We got to make sure that we're prepared as much as we can. But here's the kicker. Be also more prepared in faith, right? You think this Negro project ended? Negro Project is still going on, bro. You know, how do you see the Negro Project going on, Lazarus? Well, look at the music we listen to. You got these dudes ratting on each other. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm old. Shalom Mashah. Like me and Mashah are basically the same age. I said, Mashah,
Shalom,
in our
bro.
days, do you have no snitches? Are there snitches in our days? Huh, Mashah?
Khan. You hear me?
Yeah, Khan.
Kind of cutting off and on.
Oh, Salaki.
You saying?
You were there any snitches in our days?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. But snitches get stitches, bro. Yeah.
Con.
But now we
It's
see
no
a lot of people
different.
doing what? They're getting they're encouraging it.
Khan.
And they're killing each other. You know? Like brothers gotta realize, man, like you know, it's to the extreme in every single corner, man. And it's about to break down, man. Y'all brothers gotta be diligent, keep serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai in faith and a Mashiach, his example, keep Torah, stop being you know procrastinating. This ain't the time to do that for being slothful, man. You know, let's go back to Maccabees. Let's go back to Maccabees. Let's go to the second chapter of Maccabees and the 6th verse, or Salakia, 6th chapter and the 9th verse.
First Maccabees 6:9.
Khan.
This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 6 verse 9.
Salakia is 2nd Maccabees.
Oh, Salakia. Second Maccabees 6:9. This is the. One second, okay. There's the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 9. And whosoever would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery.
Why? Because they were used as examples. So we, as Israelites, we had to lose our customs, lose our identity, and become as the heathens. And if we didn't, we would die. Y'all ready for that?
Con. And it's the same heathens from last time.
Right. And this is, you know, this is going to get like this. It's going to get even worse.
Con.
I mean, hell, if you know, Nick Cannon couldn't say that he was an Israelite online, what makes you think you are? You know? Like we see prominent celebrities acknowledging it and understanding it, you know? But then you got a brother like Kodak Black who literally went back. You know?
Right.
There was a lot going on there. And we know brothers that minister to him personally, you know? And you know, through the power and spirit, how about Shimi Oshai? We pray the brother repents and comes back. I don't know what's going on. He had that little dance with his mother there. I don't even want to bring that up, but damn, bro, something's going on with Kodak, man. You know.
And I got a quick precept to what you were saying a second ago, Cap.
Well, let me finish this. Go ahead and read verse 10, Baba Kasha.
Verse 10. For there were two women brought who had circumcised their children, who when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
What does that mean? They bashed the baby's brains in. Right? Imagine Israelite women walking around with a baby, and they just, you know, a police officer grabs the baby, smashes the baby's head on the wall. Right? A form of Planned Parenthood.
Con.
You know, so I mean, you know, and these are things that, you know, we have to learn that it has to be applied. The law, statute, the commandments, faith in a Mashiach. When we talk about laws and commandments, it's not only about you know, the fringe wearing, and it's about the weightier matters of the law. And the marriage has a lot to do with it. Sex has a lot to do with it. You know, now, like I said before, a lot of brothers, you know, they do have marriages, all praises, honor, and glory. Some brothers don't have marriages, you know, and that's cool as well. But we can't just rush into something because we're lustful, or, you know, it's for sex. We can't be doing that, because that's a trap for our people. That's a trap, period. I posted something today about about this trap thing, you know, with holding a white girl's hand, and it's in some cabin in the forest, you know. And I said, you know, it's a trap because you know, it's this white girl's she kind of like she's holding her hand out for you to grab it, and then you got in her background, you got the cabin in the forest and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? So then you got these, you know, the ball players, you know, whether it's football, basketball, whatever it is. You got literally women grooming these brothers from high school, so that they could basically get pregnant with them, married, and guess what? They're getting checks, bro, every month. Getting checks. You know, but like we read earlier, marriage is sacred and honorable unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is no game to play with. You know, we ain't dating buddies. There's no dating in the Bible. You know, you got to learn how to control it, and you got to learn to deal with it. If you cannot, you know, if you cannot get a control of it, you have to learn how to be a man and how to learn how to lead before you marry. You know, go with the precept.
Well, not really a precept. There's more context. It was just verse 1 because we're reading about all these things, and verse 1 tells you who we're talking about. Same book, 2 Maccabees 6:1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens. Athens would mean Athens, Greece. So the subject matter is about the Grecians. To compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Right. Basically, in the state that we're in today, this is literally prophecy, and you could see it today. You know, go to our neighborhoods, go to a house that's out of order. You know, and you literally see this. This is what took place and came to fruition. You know, I wanted to bring out something. Northern Kingdom, y'all are not excluded in this either, because it wasn't just a Negro project, but also in Central and South America, there is a big whitewashing, right? How Latin America's obsession with whiteness is hurting us, right? So I put out this article, and basically goes into the whitewashing of natives in Central and South America. Not only natives, but also Negroes as well. But basically what they would do is they would the presidents of these countries would pay immigrants from, let's say, Europe, come and basically go into whitewash and breed us out. That is a form of Planned Parenthood right there. Right? So watch this. Blanquito comes from an ideology derived from European colonism and revolves around maintaining white dominance and social heresies. In fact, Blanquito could easily be compared to the ideology of white supremacy, often seen in something exclusively American. We think that white supremacy white supremacy, and immediately what comes to mind are numerous white nationalist rallies and takes place in states this year alone. But it's not something that only white American nationalists subscribe to. We have misconceptions of the white supremacy. People still associate it to something exclusive to the U.S. And when we start thinking about what white supremacy looks like, it like in our imagination, it's always something like the KKK, says Dr. Graciela Rodriguez Solomon, a professor in psychology at the City of New York, with specialization on Latino studies. But really, white supremacy is a sophisticated system of domination. I always say a Dominican who did my decorate in the Dominican Republic. If you really want to understand race and race relations on this side of the world, you have to look at the Dominican Republic and its relationship with Haiti. That's the whitest was experimented and almost mastered and spread across the Western Hemisphere. Why did she say Santo Domingo or Dominican Republic? Right? Because basically you got the same people who almost look identical to each other, hate each other because of the skin color. Right? And what she said here was profound. It was a system that came in place as a white supremacy to basically do what? To white us out. Right? But like it says in Jeremiah, the seed of Israel shall be here as long as the ordinance are here. Right? So we cannot get away from that. Salakia. Y'all can hear me?
Con.
Oh, okay. Con. All right. Well, that's all I got, y'all. Anybody got anything else? Anything else to bring out? All right, Con. Well, with that, we're going to say Shalom. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.